Is the archaeologist from Haifa University. My name is Maha Darawsha, and we work.
Can we put here a chair for Maha?
Of course, of course.
Yeah, that's fine. Shalom.
אני מכיר את המצב.
لا אבל נשכח משהו.
אז אתה מסתכל, אני רואה את זה בסדר.
شكرا. So we started our work like in Nazareth 14 years ago. What I did, I have a group of Nazareth when was the former, head of municipality around Darawsha. He accepted us very well, and we did the ground penetrating radar in every place. We have a result. But for the Greek Orthodox, we just worked there for the past 2 years. I met, Ms. Tuma, and she gave us all
She was instrumental.
Yeah, very, very helpful and insisted, to do the work. And without her help, we couldn't do anything. So we got the license, we applied to the license. As you see, the beginning of behind the church, this is the...
You got license from Connecticut authority?
Yes, yes. So we have a license until the end of December for 1 year. Then based on my excavation, our excavation, we can renew that to continue the work.
Shalom.
Yes. Because I live in the state, I worked with the Antiquities Authority before I moved to the state. But
βλέπω από εδώ, γι' αυτό είμαι. Από εκεί δεν βλέπω. Όχι, είμαι εντάξει. Τηλεφωνώ εγώ, είμαι εντάξει. Βλέπω από εδώ καλά. Δεν περάσω, δεν είναι τίποτα. Όχι, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Φώναξε την Άννα.
Τηλεφωνώ μου καλά από εκεί.
Έλα, της τηλεφωνήσω γύρω.
Εγώ της τηλεφωνώ από εδώ. Είπα, σε τα φτάσω. It's okay, you can continue, sorry.
So, this is the courtyard behind the church, the Greek Orthodox Church, and what we did there, we did ART and ground penetrating radar to check if there is a possible of building or something beneath or underneath the existing church, inside the church, and we did find, the result says, but we can't dig inside the church. So we decided to do that, behind where we have a space.
In the periphery.
Yes. So what happened, this place that it's covered, I found out that it was dug in the 80s, and they damaged archaeology. They want to do some kind of a building that existed now, so they moved the building and, they hide this with the cover, and they covered it for the whole time. When I came and did the ground penetrating radar, I asked to open the space. So in the section there, in the dig, we found a few pieces of mosaic floor, and from there we decided to dig the area and find out if we have any mosaic floor that's left, because when they dug it in the 1980s, they said that they found mosaic floor, but it was destroyed, was damaged, or they took it out the next day or the next morning. So it was, it disappeared. We don't know what happened. No record for this kind of excavation, because it was done by backhoe or, big, tools. Now, we dug in this area. Why? Because we found the section of the mosaic floor, and now, me and Shalom and the director of the Greenberg Center from University of Hartford, who's funding my, expense.
University of
Hartford.
Hartford.
In Connecticut. Yes.
The young lady is from the States.
Yes.
Yes. She's a graduate of which university?
Syracuse University.
Oh, Syracuse University. Nice meeting
She's here studying Arabic, and also she's a journalist, and studying
political science and journalist.
And more than that, and beyond.
Beyond.
Because she's working here with us now, PhD, and she can help us to look for sponsors.
Oh, that's nice, yes. To raise money for this project.
That's right. Yes.
That's what we need. So we started in June, just to do like a proper excavation and see what's really, you know, if we have
Nazareth.
really archaeology
Yeah, the church.
behind the church. So that's, you know, the 5 days that we did, just we dug 5, you know, pits. 5 pits. That's how the mosaic floor looked after they damaged the place in 1980. So we dug this area and we found that we worked for 5 days just to open 5 pits, meter by meter and a half or 2 meters. We thought it's only white mosaic stone, but later it was red and, you know. So the crew, the members of the Greek Orthodox Council were very excited to find such a mosaic before we cleaned it, you know, and they were happy. So we opened another square and another square just to check the borders of the antiquities behind the courtyard of the Greek Orthodox Church. Anything that we forgot? So this is how it looks after we cleaned it.
Beautiful.
Yes, and you can see the shape of the cross
Yeah, right.
in both.
Well preserved this part.
Who wants to preserve the
No,
Shemayim?
are well preserved.
Yeah,
We have to preserve.
no doubt.
So that's what we did in June, from June 10th until June 5th. And we opened another pit next to it to see if there is a continuation, and we found here, which is exactly behind the wall of the 16th church, and we find here the mosaic was in this side, and we opened another one to see if there is a continuation. What happened? We did find a continuation. Shukran. Bismillah.
You can put it here.
وأنت تفضل.
Thank you. لا كده
شكرا.
Mr. Site says this is 4th century.
4th century, yes.
Good.
So we found that, and you know, from here to there, it's not dig. You know, we didn't dig this area. And we found a wall here that it was the end of, you know, the mosaic floor. So it seems that it was a separation between one room to
It is
the
a big
other.
operation.
So we here explaining after every day, and me and Shalom sitting doing all the recording for the finds that we found, and you know, explaining to, you know, our job what we need to do and continue doing the work that needs to be done, and a plan for the next. We are visiting the bishop. He was very excited, and you know, we advertised that also in the Arabic news, just to, you know, so we worked hard to have people know what they.
Give us more trouble.
So we did, yeah. This is the one A, B, and C. So we had in C another one, another also mosaic. So the mosaic continue this way, like we have 4 meters, about 4 meters between A, B, C. So we have like a big, you know, the length of the mosaic, we know that it's expand. So this is the area that was dug in the 80s. I'm repeating myself just to make sure that it's clear. And the other side, behind where we found the crusade, you know, wall, it was the ending of this building or this construction area. Now, some of the finds that we found, it was Byzantine cooking, you know,
Pots.
yeah, and a coin that we found, it seems that's Ottoman. I show it to one of my colleagues, and he needs to do the cleaning and decide for that. So that was in June, only 5 days. We found also more pottery, but you know, this is one picture just to show you. We didn't find anything that, you know. So the Greek Orthodox Council, you know, by her administration, by A.Th.M, decided to cover that with a nice, you know, glass to have people come and have access to it and see what we did.
To be visible.
Exactly, just for the, you know, the time being until we uncover and discover the whole area and dig the whole area. So, the same month I came twice, you know, on July 23rd, we decided to do another excavation based on their request to expand the dig and find out what we are talking about. So, the courtyard behind, we have all concrete floor, so we had to cut the concrete floor and open another 3 squares, 4 meters by 3 meters and a half. About, yes.
Almost 4 on 4.
4 and 4, yeah. So we dug 2 of them and we found more walls. This is me, just to try out, I didn't, you know.
Yes.
So we had workers, we worked for 10 days, actual dig that we dug there. First of all, in both squares we found a modern wall. We don't know if it's modern or Ottoman, what we call it, because we didn't find much of finds to date this wall. But it seems like from old photography from the 1870s that this wall was shown behind the church. Some of it is still, you know, shown in the pictures, so it might be that it was built in the 19th century or the 18th century. When we did, you know, I don't know if I have another pictures for the wall in square G. And what we found a threshold, which is an entrance for some kind of, you know, let's say... No,
the
not
threshold.
The threshold. So...
Separating between 2 spaces, rooms, halls.
So, and here also, in the same square, we found a mosaic floor, which is a continuation from the other previous excavation. So we have a wall. It's the, you know, from the Ottoman period, let's say, and the threshold. So we think that's the 3 parts of the mosaic that we found already are related to some kind of narthex or some kind of arum that, you know, most of the pottery was from the Byzantine period.
Yes, I have a question. The fact that you have reached to a certain point, is it enough, do you have enough information so that you can design, you can tell us how was the church?
Not yet, not yet. We need another season, you know, next summer for at least 1 month.
Because from what I understand, it's not only to uncover the mosaics, but what is most important is how to discover the shape and the form.
That's
right?
Yeah. That's
so you have not reached to the point that the shape can be presented, can be forthcoming.
No.
Right?
Yes, you're right. You're right. Because as you remember, we had from the probes,
right,
which is almost near the outer wall of the actual church.
Right.
Yes, and we see the mosaic floor reaching almost to the, let's say, the modern or the actual, the nowadays church. So, if that mosaic reaches to the almost to that wall, we cannot tell the extension of the Byzantine building southwards. And we should try to open it a little bit further to see if we can catch the southern wall of it. And the same, we don't have, do we have the threshold? Okay, you see that the threshold is reaching the northern edge of our excavation.
Right.
So we have to enlarge it a little bit northwards to see the northern wall of the building. So at least we can have the width
of the building and the
You know,
limitation.
I understand. The other day when I visited, I was on the spot and Mrs. Maha explained to me, I told her that the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem would help you a lot in this theoretically speaking, right? In what way? According to the Orthodox customs of building churches, because these are holy sites, it's not just an ordinary church, right? It is a holy site. The very holy site was the focus of the architect's intention, right? That is to say, when I say the focus, the holy site must be, in this case, like in the Church of the Nativity, the cave became the focus of the whole architectural concept and building, right? That is to say, the altar has to be over above the site of the birth of Christ. Now here, because I saw the complexities, and really it's very impressive, and I saw that where you are excavating, that everything is near and around, even over above the spring, the water spring. You understand me? And I just, I sense, I imagine that, I suppose that, I suspect that the church was built over above the spring. You understand me? And I understand this is a very, I mean, it's not a little initiative, a little project that you are doing. It's a big one.
Or a huge one.
And if really, I mean, you can, we hope to manage to find the funds and sponsors, because this would shed light on this very important archaeological site. It's important, first of all, for the history of Nazareth, because there are all sorts of distortions and imaginations, right? Correct? And anyway, I don't want to say more. Sorry for this. You are the experts, and just want to bring to your attention this fact. We have many churches, right? Holy sites, and you have to, like in the Holy Sepulchre, for instance, except there are two churches. Here is the expert, the Rotunda, where is the tomb of Christ, you see. And over above the tomb of Christ, you have the big Rotunda. There's the other church, which made the compound, right? The Constantinian one. Now, today, even today, our church, the so-called Catholic one, Constantinian, they call it in Arabic. You see, the altar is built over above the original Constantinian church. You understand? This you have to bear in mind, because this can help you to understand why all these complexities. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think that you are making a point, because Maha will show you that the mosaic floor building was built on top an earlier one, which at least we have already pieces of two beautifully built walls. Really something monumental, let's say.
You know, you've been to the Church of the Nativity, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You see how is the cave? The two stairs from the north and the south are from the time of the Emperor Constantine and Justinian, right? Correct? So it means there is access until today as it is today. Now our altar actually is, it's not precisely, but the nave I mean, is over above. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And then, according to the studies, it's a puzzle also for the specialists, is that we have information that it was open. I mean, the altar,
Yeah.
right? Heikel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in such a way that people, they could also look downstairs. And at the same time, would go and visit. For instance, if you go to, there is a very classical example. If you visit the church of Jacob's Well in Samaria, in Nablus,
I haven't been.
you should go there. You see there, there was a Byzantine church, and the new one that started at the beginning of 19th century, right, was recently completed. What is interesting, that the altar is over above the Jacob's Well. So there are two entrances in front of the Heikel, in front of the, right? And so one is, you go downstairs, people, they can go during service without any problem, right? And the altar is built over above the well, the mouth of the well.
So not on the classical basilica plan.
Yeah,
Okay. That's very important.
this can help you.
Yes. Yes, it is very important that you mentioned it. Thank you.
Because I saw the complexities there, you understand me, and so you will discover maybe a chapel over above another, maybe staircases, I don't know.
Yes, we do look for it.
Yeah.
We do look for it.
Sorry for this, I've got the next one.
No, but it's, you know, everything's help. It's, you know. So now, demolishing the wall, the modern wall, or from the 18th or the 19th, let's say, demolishing in the first square and the second square. So we have the mosaic floor here. Here, I put the other picture just to show you that it's higher, you know, or the same level as the wall. That's what we found, the mosaic floor.
So
this
is
mosaic floor.
So you have so far 2 levels.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
You see?
yeah. I have 2 levels.
So what I'm telling you, I think it leads to what I'm
Exactly.
telling you.
Exactly.
Maybe you'll find another level.
That's
Ah.
what we can really,
It,
you know.
that depends on
Yeah.
on longer excavations.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So here in this mosaic floor, just to explain, it's one, and we have like some kind of, you know, infill in there, like a floor. But when I cleaned the mosaic floor, I found that's the one that Shalom spoke about, that we have 2 layers, one mosaic built on top, an earlier one, and you can see the stone. From this, you know, we took carbon-40 samples to date that, and when we receive it has to be sent to Weizmann Institute. So, yeah, so we can get this date. Continuing with the excavation, we expand another square H to see if the threshold is continuing and knowing the borders of this, you know, building. Now, looking, you
So
know.
you have the Inspector General, Mr. Sifat.
Yeah, she's always comes morning, noon, and you know, before she leaves to get the update. So, yeah. Now, digging another wall.
You know, Mr. Shalom, that our society started with the matriarchy.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yes, and then became patriarchy.
And then.
Oh yeah, you mean the human society.
Matriarchal. Then became patriarchal.
Yeah.
And today, you see, they are
That's a
restoring.
bad story.
Right.
So we are.
And for us, it's very important, you know, we're very happy. Because,
Well,
you know, the church in Greek, grammatically, from the grammatical point, is female. It's not male, the name.
Yeah.
Ecclesia.
Ecclesia.
Yes. Which is the mother.
Yeah.
Right?
الام يعني إلك. So Here, I think after we dug the wall, is it like the wall, the find that's found from the Abbasid, you know?
Yes, we have few, no, Abbas.
The Mamluki.
Mamluks, yeah.
It's very important.
So when we removed the modern wall, in the foundation of this wall, we found this piece of pottery that's
Is there any evidence from the Crusaders period?
Yes,
but no,
very
few.
Very few. We have a foundation of a wall that was robbed for the stones,
Right.
and in the robbing trench we found Crusader pottery.
I see.
But again, very few. They were very clean people. They didn't leave garbage behind them.
Now, the nice and the very complicated, sophisticated one, we have the mosaic floor here, higher level. We have a threshold here. We have the square that we found, you know, the mosaic from June here, that's continued there. We uncovered this mosaic floor to the deep because we wanted probably take it off by expert, you know, and dig under it and then bring it back. And if we find something that's from the older or, you know, ancient than this one on top, so we can keep the other one and, you know the date exactly.
So we're talking about two levels, which so far are of not of the same age, the same time, the same period.
No, I'm gonna, not the same time.
The Tesseract is the same quality, the same shape and form.
The lower one is not exposed. We did not expose it. We see in the section that we have two mosaics, one on top of the other,
I see.
and we did not excavate it.
I see.
Because we shall have to dismantle the upper one, and we don't want to do it yet.
I know, because that they were talking Mr. Sarkis, and it is well known that 9th century was the century of the golden age for the architectural development of the holy place and churches, right? Because the Byzantine emperors at the time, they would spend like a lot of they were generous.
Leo.
And also
10th, 11th century, 10th century.
10th, 11th.
So they were generous. Yeah. So they would have money, and they would decorate the churches with mosaics, etc. This is why we're asking if, from the different shape and form of the tesseract.
We couldn't see, just in the section, we can see the upper mosaic is built, then you have the infect or what they call the teak,
the cement.
The cement, and then when I cleared it, I found another layer of, mosaic floor and the cement, but we took a sample of carbon 14 to date that.
Because from what we know is that from the tesseract, right, we can understand the period. Why? Because there was this art of tesseract was developed, right, advanced, and not only this, also you can see the quality, even the colors are more special.
No, it is a Byzantine mosaic.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because I found one. I found one comparison that it's a Byzantine from 5th century from Tel Sheikh in Syria, and they have the same shape that it's found, in a church.
Mrs. Maha, and it is blessing, yeah, that's it. No, it's something, I noticed that I know what you like.
You know what I like, yeah? It's blue. Thank you.
This is to show people that we approve of what you are doing.
Wow, wonderful.
And I think this is for Adam, right? We put in our website.
بدك أنتي الكاميرا تليفون آدم.
Ναι.